What's going on, everybody? Welcome. Today, I want to talk about something very, very important and very, very near and dear to me, and that is the separation of the children from their parents. The Mexican, the whole illegal immigration, Mexican border ordeal going on, where you have Mexican families separated. By separated, I mean husbands taken away from their wives, children taken away from their parents. Just it's I I wanted to talk about this a while ago, but I was just in too much of a shock to really talk about it in a more sensible way. So I waited until I was really calm, if you would call it that, and I could think a little more rationally about this, so I could speak about it coherently. Let me just say that the incidences that are going on with this situation are, to put it lightly, it is evil. To take away a child from their parents, and when you have footage, live video and footage of children being put in, for lack of a better term, cages, like children in cages. Not only that, they are separated from their parents. There's nothing more evil you can do to a person than to separate them from their loved ones. What's even worse is that when you separate a child or children from their parents, there's nothing more evil than that. Like, and the crazy thing about this is, as evil as this is in American history, it's not new. Unfortunately, this is not the first time the United States has implemented these actions. Not the first time. If you really want to do some serious U.S. history, the legacy of the United States of America is riddled with stories and situations where families are forcibly separated from each other. From the time you Okay, here we go. 1619, Jamestown, Virginia, when Africans were taken from West Africa and brought over to the shores of the United States of America. The first thing they did was separate family members. That's the reason why, whenever you have a black person do a DNA test, and it shows that this person's lineage goes back to West Africa, and there's a whole bunch of different tribes together. There's a whole bunch of different tribes mixed in with that person. There's a reason why. Because when Africans were brought over here to be enslaved, they did not kidnap. They did not kidnap slaves. They did not kidnap slaves. They kidnapped Africans and made them slaves. When they brought Africans over here to the shores of Virginia in 1619, Jamestown, they separated women from men, children from parents, siblings from siblings. So if he had a mother, father, and two children, the brother and sister, or the sister and sister, brother, the two children were separated from each other. The two children were separated from the parents. The wife was separated from the husband and literally sold off somewhere, never to be seen again. Years later, that one particular person from that particular tribe in Africa, you know, gets together and has a child with another person from another tribe, and there you have that. Okay, it's long 1619, a long history. We are almost coming up on the what 400, 500 year history of that moment. That's just the United States. We're talking about just the United States. How about the Trail of Tears? How about when the Native Americans were almost wiped out? You don't think families were separated from each other? You don't think that happened too? How about during World War II? Keep in mind, only U.S. history. Only U.S. history. We're talking about U.S. history. Because that's right, this moment right here, we are living in U.S. history right now. During World War II, when the bombing of Pearl Harbor, right? People forget about the internment camps that the United States implemented to criminalize people of Japanese descent, heritage, who were already living here. The United States government went into their homes, their communities, literally kicked them out. They declared martial law on the Japanese people in the United States, separating men from women, children from parents. Same thing. Same thing. Now we have 2018, the 21st century, under the Donald Trump administration. We have the same thing. Now, in this particular case, you have people willingly coming to this country to seek asylum from the country that they left because of whatever reason they left. But nine times out of 10, anytime a group of people in mass numbers leaves one place to go to another willingly, chances are wherever they came from was far worse. Otherwise, why would you leave? You don't leave where things are good. You leave where things are bad. If there's no food, hold on, wait. Did we ever hear about anywhere in U.S. history about people who left, was it Scotland, from the potato famine? Is there any story of a situation such as this with people in Mexico happening to people who came from Europe during the potato famine? Because they left their home and came over to the shores of New York. What about the Italian immigrants? What about the Polish? They left where they came from and came over here. Were they put in cages? What about the Jews who left Europe during the Holocaust? Came over here. Were they put in cages? Now granted, they were treated badly too when they got here. But were they put in cages? Were the Jews, were the Irish, were the Italians, were parents separated from their children and put in cages? Did that ever happen here with that group of people? Why is it when it comes to people, hold up, I forgot about the Chinese during the building of the railroads? Keep in mind, this is only U.S. history. U.S. history from the past 100 years. The past 100 years, a little more. I'm sorry, no, not the past 100 years. The past what, 400 or 500 years, because we got African kidnapping, the transatlantic slave trade. So I'm sorry, for even before there was United States, before there was the United States of America, this has been happening to people in this country. And in the year 2008, we are still practicing not. This government is practicing the same things they did in the 40s, the 1800s, the 1600s. See, the only difference is now we have video. See, there were no tape recordings of the Chinese on the railroads. There were no tape recordings of, you know, people coming here like there were no tape recordings of the Japanese people being put into camps on the West Coast. There were no video recordings, so there was no social media. This is the first time we get to see it live in person. How evil are you to take a child away from their parents? And you can hear there's audio of children crying for their parents, daddy, daddy. This audio and video of parents crying, being taken away from their own children. How evil are you? And then you put the children in the orange jumpsuits like they in prison. You got pictures of children, no, 10 years old and less, in orange jumpsuits like they about to be in prison on the chain gang. Little girls taken away from their mothers. Little boys taken away from their fathers. These children, all they know is their parents. The children ain't done nothing to nobody. The children just got here. The children, what are you doing? The parents are trying to, they trying to leave where they come from and say, look, we want a better life, and they come over here. Statue of Liberty, bring us your tired, your poor, your huddled masses. On the Statue of Liberty, the Statue of Liberty, at the bottom of it, bring us your tired, your poor, your huddled masses. Don't we advertise all over the world that America is the land of opportunity? You know what we advertise? If there's one thing that America is the best at, it's advertising how great it is. Whether it's true or not, the United States of America is probably the best country in the world at advertising. All over the world, come here. If you want a better opportunity, if you want to live your best life, come here. On Statue of Liberty, bring us your tired, your poor, your huddled masses. So when people come, you don't want them to come. This country was founded on immigration. There would be no United States of America if it were not for immigration. Also, wouldn't be no United States if it weren't for the stealing the people either. That's just be real with that. So, first of all, let's do some more U.S. history. The west coast of the United States is Mexico. The United States of America took Mexico from the Mexicans to, you know how evil you gotta be to kick Mexicans out of the West Coast of the United States and name a state called New Mexico? But you kick Mexicans out of the West Coast of the United States, which was theirs in the first place? Maybe we're going to name a state New Mexico. What? And there's some people who say, well, you know, it don't matter because they ain't white or they ain't black. These are children, man. Whether they black children, white children, Asian children. There's one thing, see, there's a lot of things that we as humans can disagree on. But I believe the one thing that every single sane thinking, even insane thinking, adult can agree on is leave the children alone. You can say whatever you want about me. You can do whatever you want to me. Leave the children out of this. That's why I would say women and children leave alone. Or if you want, anytime you go save someone, who's the first people you save? Women and children. And a woman will give up her life for her children. That's something That's something that the whole world can agree on. You mess with children, there's a problem. You touch children, there's a problem. So the worst you can do is take a child away from their parent. The first line of protection for a child is their parent. You gonna do that to them? That's evil. That's evil. And I may get some backlash from this. I may get a whole lot of comments, call me a whole bunch of names. I don't care. What is going on in this country is too heinous to be quiet on. I don't care whether or not you are a parent. You don't have to be a parent to feel this. You don't have to be a parent to feel this. If there are children in your life, how would you feel if you were a child and someone came into where you live and took you, a child, away from your parents? Come on now. Someone come into where you live, interrupting your life, and gets you up and takes you away from your parents and separates you from your parents and puts you in a cage. You don't have to be a parent to realize that that's insane. And for what? What are you doing it for? Like, how evil. And the world is watching this. Think about this. How does this look to the rest of the world to say, we are so great, yet we will take a child away from their parent? Make America great again. What are you talking about? How can you be great doing this? Great and taking children away from their parents don't go together. They don't go together. You can't be a great nation and you have a history of, keep in mind, United States of America has a history of this. This isn't the first time in the United States history that this incident like this happened. This is the first time it's been filmed. This is the first incident being filmed, but it is not the first time in the U.S. history that this has happened. You can't be great. See, the U.S. can write the story about how great they are, but if the world is watching, it's evil. 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 Especially when you advertise how great you are and you want people to come. What are you talking about? Mexico didn't put bring your tired, your poor, your huddle masses. Japan didn't put bring your tired, your poor, your huddle masses. Africa didn't put bring your tired, your poor, your huddle masses. China didn't put bring your tired, your poor, your huddle masses. No, the U.S. did that. The U.S. broadcasted to the world, bring us your tired, your poor, your huddle masses yearning to be free. The U.S. broadcasts this across the world. Come here and work hard. You can live your best life. U.S. said that. U.S. advertised to the world. If you come to the U.S., if you work hard enough, you can live your best life. Where's the lie? Tell me when I'm lying. Somebody in the comment section, tell me when I'm lying. African slave trade. African slave trade. Trail of Tears. The whole Native American genocide. Chinese railroads. Japanese Japanese, not internment camps, but Japanese camps. Hmm. And now this. I just gave you 5 incidences in the U.S. history. In U.S. history, one incident was before there was a U.S. It was when they were the colonies. When they were the colonies, that was the first incident: the African slave trade, the transatlantic slave trade. But 5 incidences in this country, 5 incidences where this has happened. The same thing has happened, and they're all people of color. All 5 instances I just named are all for people of color. Every single one of them. Land of the free, home of the brave. Brings your tide, your poor, your huddle masses. Okay. Okay. I see it. Evil. Bye.